The story begins with Ji-woo, a young girl living under the shadow of her father's dangerous world. Her father is a gangster, constantly on the run, and no one knows where he is. Every morning when she leaves for school, a policeman waits outside her building and asks the same questions. Where is your father? Did he call you? Ji-woo ignores him each time, but he still follows her all the way to school. Her troubles do not end there. The girls in her class mock her openly. They whisper that only children from respectable families belong in this school, and that someone like her has no place here. Even during recess, she stands alone, unwanted by anyone. One day, she sees police officers speaking with the principal, and moments later, a teacher calls her in. The school has decided to expel her. Other parents have demanded it. They do not want their daughter studying alongside the daughter of a gangster. As she steps out of the office, a birthday message from her father appears on her phone, sent from an unknown number. Back in class, the same girls start harassing her again. They taunt her, saying, "Look, your father forgot his packet of goods here." Ji-woo snaps. She throws the packet into one girl's face and a fight erupts. Ji-woo overpowers all three of them. "I am a gangster's daughter," she says coldly. The teacher rushes in. Ji-woo removes her school badge, hands it over, and announces she is leaving. Outside, in her anger, she starts smashing the policeman's car and runs away. He chases her, shouting, "Stop right there!" But Ji-woo escapes to the riverbank, the place she used to visit with her father. That evening, when she returns home, the policeman mocks her again. "Back after meeting your father?" Ji-woo says nothing and walks into her apartment. Outside her door, she finds a cake and a gift from her father. Furious, she kicks them aside and goes in. Her father calls her again and again, but she refuses to answer. Finally, she picks up the phone. He wishes her a happy birthday and apologizes for not being able to come. He tells her he left her a cake and an iPad and asks how her studies are going. Ji-woo breaks down. She tells him the police have been following her for a month. The girls at school bully her. Everyone calls her a gangster's daughter. Her father is shocked. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" he asks. She replies, "Your phone is always switched off. How am I supposed to reach you?" And he promises, "I will fix everything." But Ji-woo, filled with anger, tells him, "You're as good as dead to me. Don't ever come near me." Her words crush him. He turns on his phone and sees all the messages she had sent, desperate cries for help throughout the past month. Without hesitation, he dismisses his driver and rushes to her building. The moment he arrives, he attacks the police officers who were watching her home. Inside the hallway, he sees the unopened gifts, sitting on the floor, untouched. He tries to open Ji-woo's door with a spare key, but it's locked from inside. The noise wakes her. At that moment, a man in a hood appears in the corridor. Ji-woo's father realizes the danger instantly and grips the door lock tightly from outside so she cannot open it. Ji-woo looks through the peephole and sees her father standing there. A second later, the hooded man fires a shot. Ji-woo's father is hit. She tries to open the door from inside, but he holds it firmly and pleads, "Please, don't hurt my daughter." The killer fires again and disappears. Her father, in agony, breaks the key inside the lock to keep her safe. Through the door, Ji-woo hears his fading voice. "My little girl, forgive me. You suffered because of me." She finally breaks the door open and screams for help, but no one comes. The next day, at the funeral, a man named Choi arrives with his men. He lights a cigarette, places it gently in the incense burner, and pays his respects. Ji-woo confronts him. "What did you force my father to do? Why did he die like this? Who did this to him?" Choi replies quietly, "Your father was my closest friend, my brother. He was a good man." He offers no explanation and leaves. A few days later, Ji-woo goes to the police station. She asks why her father's case was closed so quickly. The officer answers, "There were no witnesses, no murder weapon. We found nothing." She shows him the CCTV footage of the hooded man. "This is the killer. Why aren't you catching him?" The officer shrugs and says, "I've been asking you for a month. If you had told me about your father sooner, we might have already caught him. People do not kill without reason." With this thought burning inside her, Ji-woo takes a large box and goes to see her father's boss, Choi. He invites her into the building. Ji-woo sets the box down in front of him and shows him a printed image from the CCTV footage. "This is my father's killer, your friend's killer," she says. Choi looks at her and asks, "If I find him, what will you do?" Ji-woo replies coldly, "I will kill him myself." Choi asks if she even knows how to kill. Then he hands her a knife and says, "Stab me. Pretend I am the one who killed your father." But Ji-woo can't do it. Her hands shake. She freezes in place. Choi slaps her hard under the ear and orders his men to throw her out. Ji-woo picks up her box and leaves. That same night, the killer returns. This time, Ji-woo sees his face clearly. He bangs on her door again and again, but she refuses to open it, and eventually he walks away. Ji-woo runs after him, desperate to attack him, but he disappears into the darkness, She decides she will find him herself. She prints dozens of copies of the killer's picture from the CCTV footage and posts them all over the streets, walls, and neighborhoods. Choi sees one of the posters while passing by and quietly takes it with him. Later that night, Ji-woo receives a call from an unknown number. The man on the phone says, "I know this man. Come with cash. I'll give you the address." Ji-woo takes the money her father left behind, along with a knife, and heads to the location. But the men who called her are nothing but local thugs. She hands them the money, nearly 100,000, and immediately the three of them begin beating her. Ji-woo fights back fiercely, but alone, she cannot overpower all three. They knock her unconscious, throw her into the trunk of a car, and drive off to get rid of her. Suddenly, she hears a loud crash, the sound of another car slamming into theirs. Then she hears someone beating the thugs violently outside. Terrified, she grips her knife, ready to defend herself. Moments later, the trunk swings open. A strong hand snatches the knife from her grip. The man standing in front of her is Choi, her father's closest friend. He glares at her. "If you wanted to die, couldn't you find a better way than this? If you keep running around like this, someone will kill you for real." Ji-woo, still trembling, replies, "The police are doing nothing. You're doing nothing. Am I supposed to live as if nothing happened?" Choi looks at her, defeated but determined. "If you want to kill him, then you must first learn how to kill." He takes Ji-woo to his training base, an underground facility where he recruits young men and trains them to fight. Until this day, no woman had ever stepped inside. Ji-woo becomes the first. Choi introduces her to the group. She's a new member. Teach her how to fight. Immediately, all the boys stare at her with curiosity and judgment. One young man escorts her to her room. "From today onwards, you'll do everything. Sweeping, washing, cleaning dishes. I did all this when I first joined," he says. Then he points to a building in the distance. "Once you're trained, you'll train there." He wishes her luck and leaves. Ji-woo places her father's ashes carefully on a stone slab. But peace doesn't last. The boys make her do all their chores. One of them even tries to show off his strange dance to impress her. They treat her badly, mock her constantly, and block her whenever she tries to join practice. When one of them tries to tease her again during training, she fights back. A scuffle breaks out, but the coach steps in and orders everyone back to their routines. At night, after everyone sleeps, Ji-woo quietly practices alone. Choi checks on her and asks, "Are you planning to run away?" Ji-woo answers firmly, "I'm planning to win." Choi tells her, "You don't need to win. You need to finish him. Fight with your mind, not just your strength. Target the temples, the jaw, the lips, the chest, and when necessary, break him completely." He begins training her himself. Ji-woo is quick, sharp, and absorbs every move he teaches. "You have skill," Choi says, "but not enough power." He wants her to succeed. He wants her to avenge her father. And Ji-woo trains with everything she has, imagining the killer in front of her as she strikes. Days later, Choi organizes a brutal competition. He locks all the new recruits, including Ji-woo, inside a cage. They must fight until only one remains. The winner earns a week of rest and prize money of 100,000. By the end of the chaos, only two remain standing, a man known as Scissors and Ji-woo. They face each other in the final battle. Both had fought their way through dozens of opponents. One fights because he enjoys it, the other because she has no choice. In the end, it is always the one with a purpose who wins. Choi declares Ji-woo the winner. Later, when Scissors regains consciousness, his friends provoke him. That night, Ji-woo is cleaning the ring when Scissors approaches her. Ji-woo apologizes. "It was just a fight," he says calmly. "Someone had to lose." But when he returns to his friends, he whispers that he spiked Ji-woo's drink. Ji-woo feels dizzy. Her vision blurs. She realizes too late that she has been drugged. Scissors and his friend drag her away, trying to take advantage of her while she is barely conscious. Ji-woo struggles, pushing one of them away. In the chaos, the container holding her father's ashes breaks, scattering them across the floor. Even in her weakened state, she keeps fighting. Enraged, Scissors grabs a hammer and raises it to strike her. At that moment, Choi bursts in. He stops the attack instantly and takes Ji-woo away to safety. Choi raises his hand towards Scissors and asks calmly, "Tell me, which part of your body should belong to me now? Your face? Your hands? Your legs?" Terrified, Scissors apologizes and says, "I'm your best man, Choi. Please, I'm loyal." Choi answers, "That's the only reason I'm not killing you. You're my man, and I brought her here myself. You should never have touched her." Then he lifts a knife and drags it across Ji-woo's face, leaving a deep cut, a mark meant to remind her forever of her mistake. When Ji-woo regains consciousness, the first thing she does is gather her father's ashes into a box. She breaks down, shaking with grief. Choi's trusted man, Taeju, approaches her. "If you want to cry, you should leave this place." "Well," he says, "I knew your father well. He wasn't born for this criminal life, and neither are you. Later, Choi calls Jiwoo to meet him at a restaurant. He tells her, "Understand one thing. Last night you died. Today, you are reborn." He places a revolver on the table. "With this gun, your father was murdered. The killer threw it away and ran. This weapon belongs to the police department. That means your father's killer is a police officer. Find him and kill him." Jiwoo then begins her real training. She spends the next 4 years learning combat, endurance, strategy, and discipline. By 2019, she joins the police force herself. She has 2 goals: to find and kill the officer who murdered her father, and to protect Choi's organization from within. By 2021, she is sent on a mission. While chasing a suspect, she follows him into a building, leaving her partner outside. Inside, Jiwoo discovers a hidden operation. Different illegal activities are happening across the building. She finds an unconscious girl and tries to revive her. Then she hides and watches another room, where a drug deal is underway. The man delivering the package is Pildu. The deal is about to be completed when Jiwoo suddenly charges in, fights everyone, and disrupts the entire sting operation, ruining the narcotics department's 6 months of undercover work. Pildu identifies himself and tells her, "You've destroyed everything. This was my case." Jiwoo arrests one of the criminals at the scene for murder. But moments later, she receives a call from her superior, ordering her to hand the suspect over to Pildu's team. She obeys and leaves. The next day, Jiwoo goes to the narcotics department headquarters. She meets Captain Cha, the same man who once came to her home years ago to kill her father. She recognizes him, but she cannot be certain. The captain takes her to his office. "You ruined last night's mission," he says, "and you did it without proper evidence." Jiwoo responds, "Give me a chance to catch that man. I will make him confess." He asks her twice, "Why do you want to join my team?" She remains silent. Then he nods and says, "Welcome to the team." That night, Jiwoo rides her motorcycle to meet Choi. He asks how her police job is going. Jiwoo replies, "I'm moving into the narcotics division. There I can uncover the gun's trail. I suspect Captain Cha." Choi says, "Look at this building. Your father saved my life here 10 years ago. The photo on my desk was taken in this place." He hands her a knife. "Find the one who killed my friend and end him." Back at the station, officers interrogate the suspect Jiwoo arrested. He reveals that a new supply of drugs has entered the market, controlled by someone named Mangu. Pildu calls an informant and tells him to locate Mangu. At the same time, Pildu sees Jiwoo in the hallway and asks, "What are you doing here?" She replies, "I've been transferred." The captain arrives and shows her to her desk. Then he tells Pildu, "From now on, she works with you." Pildu clearly dislikes the idea, but he cannot refuse the captain's orders. He updates the captain about Mangu. The captain says, "Take her." Jiwoo's new teammates are unhappy. They want her gone after she ruined their operation. But Pildu soon receives a call from his informant with Mangu's location. Meanwhile, Choi receives a massive order for illegal goods. Taeju warns him that Jiwoo joining the narcotics division could be dangerous for them. "I need to keep an eye on her," Taeju says, "and if she makes one mistake, I'll eliminate her myself." On the other side of the city, Pildo brings Jiwoo to an underground parking lot. He instructs her, "Go inside and catch Mangu." When Jiwoo enters, a guard tries to stop her, but she knocks him down instantly. Pildu's plan is simple. Either Jiwoo fails and gets kicked out of the unit, or Mangu escapes, in which case Pildu will catch him outside. But Jiwoo is far better than he expected. Years of hard training have made her strong, fast, and precise. Time passes. Pildu grows impatient and enters the building. What he sees shocks him. Jiwoo has already defeated everyone, including Mangu, and hasn't let him escape. Pildu walks in and asks Mangu, "Where are the goods?" Mangu insists, "There's nothing here." A group of men gambling nearby panic, believing a police raid is happening. They pull out their IDs. Mangu says to Pildu, "Brother, why are you ruining the business? I told you, there's nothing here. If you want to search, look in the other place." Jiwoo suspects that Mangu is hiding something. While examining the bar counter, she notices a bottle containing a new type of drug. The team captures Mangu and takes him away. Pildu looks at Jiwoo and says, "You beat everyone to show off your strength. If you ever do that again, make sure you wear a bulletproof vest." At the police station, Pildu interrogates Mangu. "Tell me," he demands, "who created that drug?" Mangu replies, "You'll never catch him. He's dangerous, beyond dangerous." He is referring to none other than Scissors, now a dominant figure in the drug world. Jiwoo informs Choi that Mangu has been caught but hasn't revealed who he works for. Choi tells her, "Find out." She searches through the police database using her undercover identity. She enters her father's name and discovers that Taeju had been present the night he died. One day later, Captain Cha also visits the location where her father was murdered. Meanwhile, Choi tells Taeju they have a problem. A new product has appeared on the market, and their clients may switch sides. The next evening, a police officer notifies Captain Cha that the target has moved. The captain orders the team to prepare for action. Their guns are collected and secured, and all officers are assembled in a briefing room. Their phones are taken away to prevent leaks. Captain Cha announces, "Tonight our target is Choi. His operation controls 90% of the drugs circulating in this country." He explains the plan. The main factory is located inside a large cargo ship. Choi will reach it in 50 minutes. The narcotics division will infiltrate the ship while the rest of the officers provide backup. They set off. Immediately, the team positions themselves on a ship nearby waiting for Choi to arrive. Choi enters the factory he recently seized from a rival. Captain Cha orders Team A to move inside. Jiwoo is filled with fear. She can't allow Choi to be caught, but she has no phone and no way to warn him. The officers spread out inside the ship. Jiwoo spots Choi and discreetly signals that police are nearby. Meanwhile, Choi's men discover Pil-do recording the scene and attack him. They try to destroy his camera. Pil-do finally reaches Choi and aims his weapon. "Hands up," he orders. Suddenly, a gunshot echoes through the ship. The lights go out. Choi sets the warehouse on fire, destroying the entire factory to prevent the police from collecting evidence. While escaping through the smoke, he sees Jiwoo. She doesn't shoot him. Choi and Taeju jump into the water. The entire narcotics division comes up empty-handed. During the investigation, the officers discover that 2 shots were fired inside. Jiwoo quietly places the revolver used to kill her father at the scene and tells Captain Cha, "I found this here. Someone tried to erase the serial number." Meanwhile, Choi storms into his hideout in anger. "Captain Cha is after me," he says. Taeju asks Jiwoo, "Why didn't you warn us?" But Choi says nothing and walks away. Captain Cha receives a call from another officer. "We checked our team's weapons, none of us fired." Jiwoo gets into a car, takes out her hidden phone, and calls Choi. But Choi, furious and betrayed, ignores her call. Back at the police station, Cha inspects every officer's gun. None show any trace of firing. At dinner, Jiwoo asks Pil-do why he is so obsessed with catching Choi. Pil-do explains, "He's one of the biggest drug suppliers. He recently killed one of our agents. We need to bring him down." Another officer joins them at the table. Jiwoo steps aside and secretly calls Choi again. "I didn't know about the raid beforehand," she tells him. "But it was serious. Listen carefully. There are 3 hidden cameras inside your hotel. They track your movements and send everything to the narcotics division." She explains that she had no way to warn him except by firing a shot to cause confusion. Choi immediately shuts down all the hidden cameras. Officers at the station discover the disruption and report that they have lost access. Captain Cha faces failure after failure and grows increasingly desperate. Meanwhile, Scissors and his partner, desperate for revenge, gather their men and leave their hideout. They head straight to the gym where they once trained 5 years ago. The gym owned by Choi. Armed with knives, they attack everyone inside. 9 boys are injured, some critically. Taeju is there as well. Scissors doesn't kill him, but breaks his arm and leaves him alive, just like what happened years ago. Later that night, when Captain Cha leaves his office, someone follows him. The captain meets a man in secret and gives him the serial number of the gun. The lab successfully restores the number that had been scratched off. Moments later, a swarm of police officers arrive at Choi's gym. Several people are dead, others are badly wounded. Jiwoo rushes Taeju, who is injured, into an ambulance. Seeing Taeju's injuries, Jiwoo asks Pil-do if Choi was killed as well. "Was Choi there?" Pil-do replies, "No, he wasn't anywhere near the scene." During the investigation, officers discover drugs at the gym. They search the surrounding area, check CCTV footage, but find nothing useful. Meanwhile, Choi visits the memorial site to honor the men who died during the attack. Jiwoo arrives there too, wanting to check on him, but when she sees Captain Cha and Pil-do approaching, she quickly hides her face with her helmet. Both men were also there to pay their respects. Taeju stops Pil-do and says only one person is allowed inside. The captain enters and comes face to face with Choi. Choi's men immediately surround him. Captain Cha says, "There's a saying, a dog's life depends on its owner. If the owner is good, the dog lives comfortably. If the owner is bad, the dog dies in the street." Choi replies, "If you weren't a police officer, you would have tried to bite me already. And yes, you win today. You'll never be able to catch me." After the captain leaves, Choi addresses his men, telling them to contact him directly if they have anything to say. Elsewhere, Scissors and his partner celebrate their attack on Choi's gym. They talk about the creature, Jiwoo, and how she vanished years ago. They vow to find her and finish her this time. At the police station, Pil-do's partner shows him a photo captured on a car's dash cam. It shows the same man who murdered people at Choi's gym, Scissors. Jiwoo recognizes him instantly but says nothing. The police wait for Choi to make a move. Choi is also preparing for revenge. He knows that if he doesn't respond, his gang will fall apart. Captain Cha then says, "Release Mangu. Let's see what Choi does next." Jiwoo objects, "If two gangs collide, a lot of people will die." Captain Cha answers coldly, "If bad people die, it doesn't matter." Jiwoo secretly warns Choi through text. Mangu is being released. It's a trap. He calls Taiju and tells him to recall all gang members immediately. The captain thinks I'm the fool, he says, but he's the real one. Captain Cha tells his team there's good news. One of their men is going to join us. If that happens, Choi's gang will fall apart from the inside. Jiwoo immediately sends Choi another message and rides off on her motorcycle. Meanwhile, Taeju is returning from a client meeting. An envelope lies in his car containing pills and a small ladder symbol. He doesn't know it was planted too. Frame him. Jiwoo reaches the place where the captain was watching. Her eyes wander toward a building across the street. Someone is taking photos from a distance. She heads toward the building to investigate. Just then, Taeju arrives and remains seated in his car without coming out. Jiwoo climbs up the opposite building to see who was photographing the captain and who was meeting him. Suddenly, Pil-do appears. Seeing him, she tries to escape. After a brief struggle, she manages to get away. Riding past the captain again, she sees Taeju approaching him, confirming it was the captain's trap to identify the traitor on his team. Pil-do later shows the photos to Captain Cha. The captain concludes, "There is someone among us who is loyal to Choi. Ever since she arrived, our operations have been failing. I suspect Jiwoo." At home, Jiwoo immediately tells Choi that Taeju had been at the meeting spot. Moments later, Taeju arrives and claims his client meeting went well. But Choi no longer trusts. He orders her to leave. The letter found in Taeju's car read, "If you want to know where Scissors is, come to the address below." This was a trap set by Captain Cha, sent through a delivery service disguised as Choi's own organization. The next day, Jiwoo goes to trace the revolver's details. She discovers its serial number, but not who it was issued to. With more digging, she finally finds the officer's name. She asks Captain Song, "Who is Jang Soo?" The gun was issued to him. She keeps her hand on the dagger Choi gave her, ready to kill Cha if he accidentally claimed the weapon as his. Cha says, "Jang Soo was part of my team. He died the first week he joined. Choi killed him." Jiwoo is shaken. Now the evidence points toward Choi. She confronts Choi, asking directly about Jang Soo. Choi denies everything. "The captain is a liar," he says. "Never believe him." Back at the station, Pil-do invites her to dinner. She refuses, saying she has work. He secretly follows her. She goes from place to place, questioning people about Scissors and Mangu. Then she enters the basement of a building. Pil-do quietly slips into her car and sits in the driver's seat. He looks at her and asks, Pil-do asks, "What are you doing here?" Jiwoo answers, "I'm trying to find information about Mangu and Scissors." Just then, they spot Mangu nearby. Pil-do says, "I'm coming with you." They begin following Mangu's car. Meanwhile, Choi heads toward his favorite restaurant for dinner. Mangu drives into the direction of an abandoned factory. Jiwoo and Pil-do park behind it, climb over the wall, and enter quietly. The place was once a car manufacturing plant. They hide and watch from a distance. Scissors arrives moments later. He meets Mangu inside the factory and hands him a new supply of drugs. Mangu takes the package and leaves. At the same time, Choi grows suspicious inside the restaurant. He senses danger and sends the owner outside to buy cigarettes, using it as a way to protect him. The moment the owner leaves, Choi attacks the men waiting to kill him. Back in the factory, Scissors realizes Jiwoo and Pil-do are watching him. He sends his men to eliminate them. Jiwoo and Pil-do fight bravely, taking down several attackers. Meanwhile, Choi continues fighting the assassins at the restaurant. During the struggle, one of the men manages to stab him. Inside the factory, Scissors' men overpower Jiwoo and Pil-do. They are captured and dragged in front of Scissors. He smiles when he sees Jiwoo. Their rivalry had been festering for years. "It's been a long time," he tells her. "Good to see you again," he says to Jiwoo, his voice cold with old hatred. He orders his men to throw both Jiwoo and Pil-do into a car. Their hands are tied as the men switch on a hydraulic press to crush the vehicle. Jiwoo and Pil-do struggle desperately to free themselves, but nothing works. He stabs him, then immediately calls one of his men and asks, "Is Choi dead yet?" But Choi himself picks up the phone and answers, "All your men are dead." Scissors sends him a photo of Jiwoo and warns, "Come quickly and save her, otherwise you'll only find her corpse." As the press descends and the metal begins to groan, Choi suddenly crashes his car into the factory's electrical panel. Sparks explode. The power cuts out. The press stops. Jiwoo climbs out of the car just as police sirens echo in the distance. Choi escapes into the night. The police rescue Ji-woo and Pil-do. Ji-woo collapses. Her leg had been stabbed, and she loses consciousness from blood loss. Tae-ju meets Choi later and asks, "Why didn't you take me with you?" Choi grabs him by the throat. "Can I trust you?" Tae-ju cannot answer. At the hospital, Captain Cha is furious at Pil-do for acting without orders. Pil-do continues questioning Ji-woo about scissors. Meanwhile, Tae-ju captures Mangu, hangs him upside down, and interrogates him about scissors. Mangu claims he doesn't know the location. The police were interrogating others as well, beating them, demanding answers, but no one knew where scissors was hiding. Tae-ju returns to Choi and says, "I'm sorry, boss, I couldn't find them." Choi responds, "Let it go, I'll get you a proper meal." Ji-woo, still recovering, suffers nightmares in the hospital. Pil-do wakes her gently. "I don't know who you're trying to catch," he says, "but whoever it is, I'll help you." He brings her clean clothes and takes her to lunch with his team. While they eat, Tae-ju secretly photographs her and sends the picture to Choi. Choi gives Ji-woo's passport to his lawyer. "She's my friend's daughter," he says. "Book her a flight. Arrange her accommodation. She needs to leave the country." He calls Ji-woo and informs her the arrangements are done, but Ji-woo refuses. If Scissors is caught, Choi warns, he'll expose everything. Ji-woo answers, "I'll handle him myself." At the station, Captain Cha demands Ji-woo's last 3 months of call records. When she returns to duty, a colleague tells her to get a gun issued. Captain Cha wants her armed until the case is closed. Just then, the same inspector who once monitored Ji-woo's childhood home appears. "It's been years," he says warmly. The captain asks how he knows her. "She was with me in the anti-violence division," the inspector lies. Outside, Ji-woo confronts him. "Why did you lie?" he whispers. "I'll give you a tip. Captain Cha reopened your father's case. He arrested your father, but he's not the one who killed him." That night, the inspector goes to meet Choi. "What game are you playing with that girl?" he asks. Choi replies, "It was her choice." The inspector demands money to keep quiet. Choi eliminates him. In this world, small threats must be silenced. Ji-woo then goes to Mangu's hideout and finds him. She threatens to tell Choi he was working with scissors during the gym attack. Mangu begs, "Please don't." She demands information. Then she calls Choi and says, preparing to leave the country. Meanwhile, Scissors calls Captain Cha. "If you want to catch Choi, I'll help you, but in return, you must let me disappear afterward." Choi tells Tae-ju about this arrangement. Tae-ju panics. "If he tells them anything, we're finished." Choi answers, "I trust him." He tells Tae-ju, "Stay here. If something happens to me, someone has to take over." Scissors heads to the meeting location with his men. The police are already hiding nearby. After a while, Choi arrives with his own men. Scissors becomes nervous and makes repeated calls to Captain Cha, who doesn't answer. Choi steps out of his car. "Won't you welcome us?" he says coldly. Scissors exits his car with his men and a violent clash erupts between both sides. The police deliberately hold back. They want the chaos contained, but not stopped. Even death seemed preferable to what lay ahead. Scissors and Choi clashed violently. In the chaos, Scissors broke away and ran. Choi immediately chased after him. At the same time, Captain Cha ordered his entire team to move in and arrest everyone. Ji-woo arrived at the scene just as the chase led onto a massive industrial machine. She saw Choi climbing up after Scissors. Choi caught Scissors at the top, and the two began fighting brutally. Ji-woo ran toward the machine just as a policeman spotted her. Scissors stabbed Choi repeatedly with his knife. Choi was moments away from being finished when Ji-woo arrived and pointed her gun at Scissors. She shouted at Choi, "Run!" Scissors looked straight at Ji-woo. "If you really have the guts, shoot," he mocked. "Taking a life isn't easy." Choi managed to escape, climbing down and fleeing in his car. Captain Cha watched him go, helpless. Scissors raised his hands and shouted, "I surrender! I'll tell you everything." A policeman behind Ji-woo tried to stop her. "Don't shoot!" he yelled, but Ji-woo fired. The officer rushed forward, grabbed her gun, and took it from her hand. When Choi escaped the battleground, Tae-ju picked him up and drove him through a tunnel. He gave Choi a new phone and told him to take care of himself before disappearing into the night. Ji-woo, shaken, realized she had taken a life for the first time. Pil-do was equally distressed. He didn't know what consequences awaited her now. Choi reached a temple and collapsed. The monks treated his wounds. Pil-do, worried about Ji-woo, went to her home. She told him softly, "Don't worry, feeling better." He asked, "Did you kill Scissors?" She whispered, "He tried to drug me and hurt me." Eventually, she fell asleep mid-conversation. Pil-do left quietly. Choi regained consciousness. The monk caring for him said, "I never expected to see you again. Rest now." Captain Cha ordered a thorough search of every hospital. Choi had to be receiving treatment somewhere. Just then, Ji-woo's doorbell rang. She stepped outside and found a packet lying there. Inside was a photograph of her father in a police uniform. Before she could react, her phone rang. Choi was calling. He gave her an address and told her to come immediately. Ji-woo went to the temple and confronted Choi. "My father was a policeman?" Choi nodded. "Yes, he was an officer, but he worked with us. He saved my life." He brought her inside and told her everything. Memories of her father, moments they shared, debts he owed him. Ji-woo asked, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Choi answered, "I wanted you to discover it yourself." Meanwhile, Pil-do tracked Choi and arrived at the temple, showing Choi's picture to the monk. The monk denied knowing him. Pil-do then went straight to Captain Cha. The captain was half drunk, drowning in disappointment. Not capturing Choi felt like a personal failure. "We'll catch him," Pil-do reassured him. At that same moment, Taeju received a call from Choi. Choi ordered him to kill Captain Cha. He believed Ji-woo wouldn't be able to do it. Taeju went to Cha's building and disabled the CCTV cameras. Pil-do, unaware, escorted the drunken captain upstairs and offered to stay with him for the night. "No," Cha said. "Go home, I'm fine." Pil-do left. Ji-woo arrived at the building moments later, rushing inside. But before she reached the captain, Taeju stabbed him repeatedly and escaped. Ji-woo found blood on the door handle and entered cautiously. Captain Cha, in pain and panicked, fired his gun at her. The bullet grazed her hand. Pil-do heard the gunshot and stopped. Ji-woo hadn't come to kill Cha. She wanted answers. "How did my father really die?" she asked. Cha realized the truth. You're that policeman's daughter," he said. "Your father wasn't part of Choi's gang. He was a real officer. Why are you working for Choi? He's dangerous." The police arrived. Captain Cha handed Ji-woo a bag and told her to run. She jumped out the window and escaped. Back in her car, she opened the bag. Inside was a collection of evidence against Choi. One item stood out, the lighter Choi always carried. It contained a hidden tracker. Ji-woo's father had given it to him. When Choi discovered this, he had reacted in uncontrollable rage. The bag also contained letters Ji-woo's father had written to Captain Cha, letters explaining that he was going to meet his daughter the night he died. Taeju had called Choi while driving that night. Choi had gone himself, and he had shot Ji-woo's father. Inside the bag was another letter, one her father had written for her. Just then, police and paramedics stormed the area. Ji-woo ran before anyone could see her. The letter read, "I always want to protect you. If life becomes difficult, if you ever feel lost, I want you to tell me, please. Never hide your pain from me. If you fall in love someday, I'll worry about the kind of man he is. I want to watch your children grow, but these dreams of mine may remain only dreams. If I'm gone tomorrow, you must still live happily. Live a good life. I love you, Ji." Ji-woo breaks down. She remembers Choi telling her, why is revenge so important? She remembers the gun he gave her, the lies, the manipulation, telling her the murderer was a police officer, urging her to kill. She remembers the knife he gave her, insisting she use it to avenge her father. Realizing how many times Choi used her, Ji-woo steps out of her car and cries, overwhelmed by betrayal. Ji-woo disguises the cut on her face with makeup and goes to the hospital. She asks Pil-do about Captain Cha's condition. Pil-do says last night he was upset. "I took him home, but then someone attacked him. I think Choi planned it." A doctor arrives and says the operation was successful. The captain survived. Taeju calls Choi and informs him that Captain Cha is still alive. Choi knows that if the captain recovers, everything could unravel. The next morning, Choi receives a call from Ji-woo. She warns him, "The police are looking for you. It's not safe to go outside." But Choi ignores the warning and prepares to leave. As Ji-woo steps out of her home, 3 men ambush her, drag her into a bathroom, and attempt to kill her. But she fights fiercely, killing all 3. Taeju appears and says, "Being the daughter of our traitor, you came to us screaming that we killed your father." Ji-woo stares at him. "You killed my father." Taeju replies, "Choi kills traitors with his own hands. He listens to their last breath." Ji-woo and Taeju fight, fast, brutal, evenly matched. But in the end, Ji-woo kills him. As he dies, Taeju whispers, "You've become a monster, just like Choi." At the police station, an officer reports Choi's whereabouts. But before anyone can move, Choi himself walks into the station and surrenders. Pil-do immediately calls Ji-woo and tells her to come to the station. Pil-do asks Choi directly, "Did you commit these murders?" Choi replies calmly, "There are 2 kinds of people in this world, killers and the killed. Either kill or be killed." Pil-do answers, "You think you're the killer. You're wrong." Choi smirks. "So now you'll teach me right and wrong?" Soon after, Choi's lawyer arrives, and Ji-woo walks in behind him. She approaches Choi. "Why did you surrender?" Choi answers, "I want to prove my innocence." Ji-woo says, "You didn't kill Scissors. You didn't kill Captain Cha. I saw Scissors stab his own man. We also have a knife with your fingerprints on it. Your game is over. Then she leaves the room. Moments later, an officer from another department arrives and hands Pildu the call records Captain Cha had requested. Jiwoo goes to the evidence room and asks for everything related to Scissor's murder. She retrieves a knife belonging to Choi. The officer tells her, "Return it by 6. Outside, Jiwoo calls Choi and says, "I've removed all the evidence." At the same time, Pildu is reviewing her call records. He sees that she has called Choi repeatedly. Then his partner shows him CCTV footage from the captain's backyard, the night of the stabbing. They realize Jiwoo was involved. They rush out of the station to stop her. An announcement is made. Jiwoo must not be allowed to leave the building. Jiwoo, aware of the danger, jumps on her motorcycle and rides past the station at full speed. Choi and his lawyer walk out. The lawyer says, "There's no point in holding my client. You have no evidence." Jiwoo's betrayal enrages the entire police team. Some officers are convinced she killed the captain. Pildu is devastated. He believed in her. Driving away, the lawyer asks Choi, "Why did you surrender? You didn't care if you were caught." Choi replies, "I needed to test Jiwoo. I couldn't kill her outright." The lawyer says, "He wasn't afraid to risk everything. Why would he be loyal to you?" Choi smiles, "Because I'm Choi. Manipulation is what I do." On the road, Jiwoo stops her bike and throws Choi's fingerprinted knife into the sea. Meanwhile, Choi learns of Taeju's death and goes to the gym to see his body. He was killed with the same knife Choi once gave to Jiwoo. Choi realizes the truth. She couldn't kill him at the police station, so she killed Taeju instead. A man behind him says, "Let's go catch her." Choi replies, "Wait, she will come to me herself. I am her purpose." Choi returns home and burns the photograph of the house he once dreamed of giving to Jiwoo. While Pildu investigates Captain Cha's house, his partner calls. "Jiwoo isn't even in the system," he says. "Choi protected her identity." They go to Jiwoo's home. It has been destroyed, vandalized from top to bottom. Then, as she heads to Choi's house, Jiwoo rides toward Choi's house, but on the way she crosses paths with Pildu. The moment she sees him, she runs. Pildu chases her immediately. Jiwoo speeds across an open field on her motorcycle. Pildu abandons his bike and runs after her on foot. Jiwoo stumbles and falls. Pildu catches up, aims his gun at her, and handcuffs her. "Enough," he says. "Stop testing me." He arrests her and takes her to the police station. The officers there, already angry and suspicious, look at her with hostility. Choi asks his lawyer how to get her released. The lawyer explains, "She was caught on CCTV stealing evidence. Getting her out won't be easy." Inside the station, Pildu confronts her. "Why did you attack the captain?" Jiwoo asks quietly. "If I say I didn't, will you believe me?" Pildu stares at her. "Trust me today," he says. She lowers her eyes. "You can't. The only person who could prove my innocence is the captain." If you're still watching this video, it means you're enjoying the story. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've liked the video, and share the emoji that matches your emotion in the comments. Now let's come back to the main story. Jiwoo sits in jail waiting for Choi. He orders his lawyer to find a way to get her out. The lawyer visits her and points out her injuries, demanding medical treatment. Pildu refuses. "I won't let you play tricks now." The lawyer replies, "The media will love hearing that Choi had an informant inside the narcotics unit." Fearing the scandal, Pildu personally escorts Jiwoo to the hospital. Choi is alerted that she has been moved. He sends men to retrieve her. At the hospital, Jiwoo is treated. A doctor stitches the wound on her arm, the same injury Captain Cha had caused when he shot her. The nurse assisting the doctor is a familiar face, the same woman Jiwoo once found unconscious in a building during a drug operation. The nurse recognizes Jiwoo too. When Pildu goes to visit the captain, Cha finally tells the truth. "It wasn't Jiwoo who attacked me, it was Choi. He killed her father 5 years ago. Her father was an undercover agent." Meanwhile, Jiwoo manages to unlock her handcuffs. The nurse sees her, but instead of alerting anyone, she quietly hands Jiwoo her car keys and whispers, "Leave through the other door." Jiwoo tries to slip out, but police officers enter. A fight breaks out. She knocks them all unconscious and escapes. Disguised in a doctor's uniform, she reaches the parking lot. Pildu and several officers appear, but before they can intercept her, Choi's hitmen arrive to grab her. Jiwoo and Pildu fight them off, steal a car, and speed away. The hitmen give chase, but eventually Jiwoo and Pildu lose them and escape. They call Choi to confirm they survived. Night falls. Pildu pulls over near a house by the beach. He removes Jiwoo's handcuffs and leads her inside, his friend's private place. Jiwoo's arm is bleeding. Pildu bandages it carefully. "You don't have to fight alone," he tells her. "I'll always be with you." Their feelings grow deeper. Together, they find comfort in each other's presence. Meanwhile, Choi sits alone in his home, whispering bitterly, "I've never betrayed anyone. Why does everyone betray me?" His lawyer arrives urgently to warn him. "The captain is awake. He's coming with a warrant. You have to run." Choi raises his gun. "Since the day I saved him on that road, his life became mine. Either I die or he dies." Terrified, the lawyer flees. The next morning, Jiwoo and Pil-do drive toward the station. Pil-do smiles at her. "After this case, you'll be known everywhere." "I'm ready," Jiwoo says softly. Suddenly, Choi appears. He fires. Pil-do is hit. Choi disappears. Jiwoo watches Pil-do collapse. Her entire world crumbles. The only person she trusted after her father was gone. Crying, trembling, she takes Pil-do's gun and walks away. Choi had taken everything from her. Again. She goes straight to Choi's fortified building. "Open the gate," she commands the guards. Inside, she tears through the hallways. A brutal fight erupts. Jiwoo versus all of Choi's killers. She is wounded, exhausted, but relentless. One by one, she takes them down, driven by grief and fury. Choi, already waiting, knows she is coming. Jiwoo enters his room and locks the door behind her. Choi looks at her calmly. "Your father was weak," he says. "He had chances to kill me, but he lacked the strength. But you're nothing like him." He steps forward. "If you have the guts, show me what you've become." "Are you like me now?" Choi's voice was cold. "You will become a monster." Jiwoo steps toward him, eyes filled with fire. "I already have." She lunges at him. The fight explodes instantly. Two people who created each other's darkness, now destroying each other with their bare hands. Their knives clash again and again. Choi slashes, Jiwoo counters. Both are wounded, both refusing to fall. Choi suddenly grabs her gun from the floor and pulls the trigger. Click, empty. With no hesitation, Jiwoo surges forward and drives her blade deep into his chest. Choi gasps, stumbling back. She twists the knife and ends him. The man who controlled her life, the man who killed her father, the man who turned her into a weapon, collapses at her feet. Jiwoo stands over him, shaking, covered in blood, but unbroken. She destroyed his entire empire alone. Then she turns and walks away, leaving the building in silence. Jiwoo had endured a lifetime of pain. She was ostracized because of her father's reputation. Then she lost him. She endured misery during her years of combat training. She learned to survive in a world where she had no one. She finally found someone she loved, Pil-do, only to lose him too. Piece by piece, every part of her humanity had been carved away. By the end, Jiwoo wasn't just fighting. She was surviving a world that had killed her long before she ever became a monster. Thank you for watching this story with me. If you're craving another dark mystery, tap the video on the left. And if your heart wants something soft and romantic, the video on the right is waiting. I'll see you in the next